You've seen pros do tier lists, but how about a guy who doesn't even play Genshin Impact at all? What's up, guys? Welcome to another video. And this one will be ranking Genshin Impact characters based on the meta. But at the same time, since I don't know their names, I'll be innovating new ones for them. So, Azumi, I think he's one of the base characters, right? So I'm just gonna say fell off quite a lot after the extreme power creep of the game, am I right? And Azuma would also naturally have a similar, a brighter fate. Tozuki would look amazing if she wasn't one of the starter characters, but the witch should be Wanda, right? Well, no, Wanza. So Wanoza. And Wanoza, I'm gonna say she's a pretty decent character. You know, appears in the cutscene and stuff. I guess that's all. That's all I know, right? That's like my limit. That's the end limit where I played it. I don't even remember the character names. The only one I know is Amber. This one, and I heard she was power crept very badly, but still, I'm gonna say Seeger could have some uses, maybe because of the little doll. And then you have Tuzumi. Unfortunately for Tuzumi, the recent balance changes did not do her good. And then you have Kiriki. I think Kiriki, despite looking all cute and stuff, could actually be a great support, am I right? And then you have Mr. Suzu. Suzu, unfortunately, my boy, unless other than the fact that you're a furry and stuff, I don't think the meta really likes you now, do you? But, Madara. I think Madara could actually keep up with the current meta, despite the introduction of new overpowered characters. And I think Futa is actually quite great right now. And as for Azur, I think Azur would actually be a decent character, maybe a little better than. Okay, I forgot her name. If I actually manage to remember any of the half-baked names, I'm great. As for Blaze, I think, despite his great damaging capabilities, cannot keep up with the other fire units in the game. As for Shumu, I think Shumu is still a good pick, but quite niche to be honest. Tratata, unfortunately for you, little mechanic, I think there are better characters than you. You have magic capabilities, and you're out there being a mechanic. I don't think it's good for you, mate. Nijiro, when will they nerf her? I don't get it. That super ability, you're telling me you can delete a whole gang with that? There's no way. And Ashira, I think Ashira has really benefited from the recent meta change. As for Tizo, despite her recent buffs, at least she went from the C to the B tier, but I'm not gonna say she's exactly the best. There are still maybe better options, but not exactly. As for Fushira, unfortunately, that's recent nerf. I think her downfall needs to be studied. Like, from A to D tier, how do you manage to achieve that? As for Frosto, he has great stunning capabilities, but at the same time, I don't think the current meta demands a lot of stun, right? And then you have Shin. I think Shin is doing a great job right now. As for Ruzo, or no, wait, it wasn't Ruzo, it was Zoro. So Zoro, unfortunately, can't really keep up with the whole damage going on lately. Same for Tashi, and Tashi is also suffering from the same damage inflation in the game, and also the flashy mechanics didn't really benefit Tuko. As for Senji, I mean, you know, Senji is Senji. He's always gonna remain D tier, no matter what buffs. But he's just completely power crept. But Fufu, I don't get it. She's so good that they don't nerf her at all with those abilities she has, especially that dashing one where she supports the teammates during the win. That is extremely busted. As for Aki is unfortunate. Like, who wants a zoner? Like, I don't want zoning in this, man. I want damage, and you can't really do that now, can you? As for Maji, I think Maji is still a great tank DPS. Like, I don't get it. How do you manage to be a tank and deal so much DPS at the same time and have so much mobility? But Xi is still a good support and DPS. I don't get how they manage to put them both in the same class, but you know, I think they're pretty balanced. However, Head butter doesn't really doesn't fit the current meta. Again, as I said, there's a lot of DPS and tanks, or I mean, this one requires to actually approach those DPS units, and they're just gonna burst you down. Yellow. I'm not gonna say is the best. Alright? Ever since that main attack nerf, and wasn't really looking the same after that. As for Amberina, you know, Amber's sister, you know, I think they look alike. I think Amberina kind of benefited from the meta shift. And then you have Fate. So Fate is definitely a solid choice. You have an assassin with great DPS and mobility. Really takes out all those glass cannons roaming around. Am I right? And speaking of one of those glass cannons, it has to be Gmo. So Gmo really, you know, benefited from the recent range buff, like the buff introduced in March 2025. That's really helped her out. As for Lou did not. I mean, like, you know, normally is a decent character, but there are so many better options. So you better not pick that. As for Pyro did not really. I mean, I don't know. It's just a decent DPS unit, but really lacks range. For Shinzei, can be a great sniper. You know, you just camp and burst down those opponents, and in case someone gets close to you, just use the super ability to just fly and be able to target them or they can't. Niji is Niji again. She's pretty much exactly like him. Like, why would you pick them? They're always known for being garbage. As for Nini is a sleepy unit, yet she manages to stay a consistent character. As for what was her name again? Zuka. Yes, Zuka. Like, I have no idea why they still haven't done anything to balance her out. Maybe just change the meta. I'm tired of seeing her S tier. The emergency nerf to that gadget that allows her to gain double damage. I have no idea how they managed to sub such an ability. And now you have Kuruku. Kuruku, I heard that she used to be one of the best characters, but ever since the power creep recently and the damage inflation and this zoner who has very low chip damage really isn't really feeling good lately. The only case scenario is in the hunt game mode. Otherwise, I don't think she's seen anywhere else. As for Faji, normally I would say she's A tier, but ever since that major rework in the egg chase game mode, and her one of the only modes where she was good was slightly nerfed. As for Tata, so Tata I think can still be a good aggressive character. Requires a lot of skill, but for those who unlock her true potential are bound to have a blast. But Teji, you know, he is Teji. As for Shuksu, oh my goodness, bro, I'm not demanding to nerf him. He was a balanced character until he went S tier because of the current meta. So might actually need to give him a buff, because once the meta changes, this guy will not look the same anymore. As for Mazuri can be a good support occasionally, and his second form that allows him to become a DPS unit is good. But the cooldown between them is too long. Like, you need to charge so much of that ability just to do it. But Abby, I don't think she's really a great pick nowadays. But Suju, oh my goodness, Suju is still an amazing choice. Still one of my friend's favorite characters. Mains her and really didn't really regret a single pull. Like, one of those pulls, like, not a single one was regretful for them. But Sakura, so Sakura is extremely situational right now. Sure, she has that ability that makes her able to receive less damage, but who wants that? That ability takes too long and the damage reduction is only 20%. Now, moving on to Ace. So Ace, despite his name, he's not exactly the best, but I think he's still a decent character. A generalist, if you understand me. But Hydra. Hydra. I mean, we can tell by the name. She's based on water, and water is chip damage, slow damage. She has very low health points, which makes her vulnerable and stuff. And pretty much that's it. But and Beji. No, it wasn't Benny. It was Benny. So Benny. I don't think she's very good. Her range is extremely terrible, despite her having like one of the highest damage, being one of the biggest damage dealers in the game. However, Kenji. So Kenji, I don't know. He could be a solid pick in the capture the flag mode, but otherwise he's nowhere else to be seen. But I think the most flawed character has to be Senso. So Senso, like bro, I'm tired of seeing him dominate survival. He is unviable anywhere other than game mode ever since his release, and even there you could get some other characters to be more consistent. But Pistachio, I think is kind of making a comeback recently because during the tank meta, his low damage was not really good, but now thanks to the DPS meta and the tanks falling from grace, now this sniper can really shine. But Tutu. So Tutu is also quite situational. You're better off picking Beji, am I right? And then you have Niare, bro, I don't get it. She will never fall off, all right? Because of her hypnotic abilities. Her sister, unfortunately, Nero is not looking the same. Like, bro, how do you have two siblings in such different tiers? Maybe because this one's hypnotic ability only affects the movement. The other one affects both movement and attack, and this character will never fall off, right? As for Choroji, no, I think she's still decent. Could be good for the egg hunt mode too. Very viable in there, and could be good also for capture the flag. Otherwise, I don't know. But you have Crystal. Crystal could use a buff. I mean, she hasn't been buffed ever since the October 2023 game rework, where they made it so that you can no longer like those stars don't really affect a character's strength. I don't think it was really looking the same. I think she's probably the worst 5-star you can ever get. But maybe okay. What was his? Wait, let me try to remember his name again. I see. Azo. Yeah, Azo. So Azo, I think he's making a comeback, pretty much like this one. Like his freeze capabilities make him better, like to actually stop those attack spammers. And one of those attack spammers is Sensei. So Sensei, I don't know. He's just because he is a DPS, and that's easy to pick up. At the same time, hard to master. So he doesn't have a low skill ceiling, which is quite good for him. However, Tana has a very, very low skill ceiling. She is the extreme noob stomper. I don't get it. When will she quit those noob lobbies? Your flashy jumping ability is not that great. So who was there? Zuko. So Zuko could be used often here and there, but unfortunately, I think this one really power crept him. He used to be a decent support, but this one really power crept him. Sinini. So Sinini, not exactly the best either. Like again, she's also a chip damage unit. However, Furaki will never fall off. Ever since that slight HP buff of 7%, and she was able to withstand a lot more damage, and this really made her really great. But what was his name again? Solos. Bro, I don't want any ability that reduces range. That range nerf is like what, 15%? Who needs that? Teshko. So Teshko, I mean, you can use him here and there. The only game mode where he's not good, where he's absolutely terrible, has to be Star Hunt. All right, so Star Hunt is not good for this character, and his skill ceiling is relatively medium. But unlike Kun. So Kun, I think his skill ceiling is way too high. His complex mechanics make him extremely difficult to understand, and even those aren't very rewarding. And I mean, is it only me or is Ojo like Ojo? I think she will stay in the ATO for too long. Like, bro, how do you manage to stay there from like more than a year? I don't get it. She's so versatile. It's actually incredible. But Ten, despite his cunning look and extremely wide, discomforting smile, I don't think I see him being played a lot recently, but he's just underrated. Am I right? That hat attack, which can pierce through targets, is very hard to get full potential of. And Nunu, so Nunu, I don't know. She was 8 here, but I think that nerf to the ability's charge rate really hurts her. Going from 5 to 8 hits to charge her special ability is way too much. But Pento, no, it wasn't Pento. Penoki. So Penoki, despite her theoretically being able to charge her ability like automatically, she's still not that great. All right, and then you have Hanzo. So Hanzo, sorry, dude, you could fit into another meta because this one is definitely doesn't suit your extremely thin attack range. And Tan. So no, it wasn't Tan. Let me try to remember. Oh yes, Kaze. So Kaze, like bro, he's versatile, not very difficult to pick up, but and easy to master. And his abilities are just extremely diverse. He's like a tanky DPS healer. Like who could compete with that? Definitely not Anji. So Anji, I mean, she just stayed the D tier for too long. She hasn't received any balance change since a long amount of time. And Tish, yes, Tish, yeah, right. I just keep getting those names mixed up. Am I right? So Tish, despite the bubble attack that should normally sound broken because the splash damage is too much, the splash radius, but you don't need that. You don't always need that. And Tench, no, it wasn't Tench. It was Bezuni. Bezuni. I don't know why they haven't bothered to nerf her yet. Like that ability could supercharge, no, the ability charge rate buff from 7 to 5 hits was extremely impactful. As for Nenni, so Nenni as a support is quite underwhelming, doesn't help with damage, and that's the major problem. And oh my goodness, please, I hate Lenovo so bad. Can we please nerf Lenovo? I don't get it. As for Linux will definitely not be good ever since the damage nerf, and you don't want a damage nerf in a damage meta. And Windy, no, it was Windowsic. So Windowsic, definitely that burning damage buff of 50%, and despite the range nerf for 20%, still a very viable option in this meta. And Eldry, so no, it was Luzley. Yes, Luzley. Sorry, you just got appealed to all those 13-year-olds who simp for you. Otherwise, your little ghost bypassing abilities somehow don't fit the current meta filled with splash damage, making the walls technically useless. And oh yes, Lynx. So Lynx could use a tiny bit of a buff. I don't get it. Why won't they bother saving her, especially with that recent rework? That rework was supposed to make her better, but at the end it just made her a worse support. She used to be a damage dealer. Somehow they converted. I don't get it. What were they thinking with that rework? But Lotus, bro, Lotus, she will remain a fan favorite. She's S tier, yet no one complains about her because of her. Not only is she versatile, but at the same time not that difficult to master. And I mean, it's a crime, but you know, she's a fan favorite. Oh my poor little Nida. So Nida, needs a rework. What all those continuous HP buff, damage buff, ability cooldown buff, ability charge rate buff, nothing will help this guy. He is fundamentally flawed. As for Lily, oh yes, Lily is good, kind of good with that little extra shield ability to support teammates, but doesn't deal that much damage, but can save you from all those damage dealers. And now, Shunai really fell off, especially with this whole meta. Like, dude, you don't want a tank here. You're just feeding the others their special ability. However, oh my, Sunji, oh my goodness. Where do I start with Sunji? Not only do you have a super ability that almost one-shots you, but it almost is always guaranteed a hit. I don't get whatever. No matter the meta, still great. And this has to be one of the most underrated characters of all time. Oh, my favorite, Dejin. Dejin is so amazing. That chip damage is major and also consistent. You don't need to keep critiquing him and keep comparing him to the other. Like, come on. But Renzi, despite her frenzy super, like that super, like ability, the super ability, not just the ability, it's extremely difficult to charge. Normally, it should make her stand out in this meta. Unlike everyone's favorite Hitana. Hitana is the best sniper in the game. Her range is absurd, her damage is extreme, she requires a lot of skill, but once you are skilled enough to play her, everything becomes easy all of a sudden. And I don't think anyone, and I mean anyone, appreciates Juju. So Juju, I don't get it. Bro, why won't they buff him? Why won't they buff that weak attack of his? As for Flamber, so Flamber, I don't know why she keeps reminding me of, I don't know, Amber or something. Keeps reminding me of Amber, but Flamber is pretty much the better counterpart. Instead of just getting that funny little doll or something, you get a beast that jumps on you and keeps burning you. And, that's all what we want in this meta. I mean, yeah, the meta is extremely boring, am I right? And, Feverine, so Feverine, despite the recent meta shift, normally she was supposed to be good as a DPS counter. However, her mechanics are just getting a bit too outdated. And not so Blade. No, it wasn't Blade. No. That's the going on name. Her true name, which I understand, which why I didn't use it's Yixversva. So Yixversva, I know the name is complicated. That's why we just call her a Blade. So can have some outplay potential, but it is quite difficult against all those. And then you have Rute. Oh my goodness. Rute is the best support of all time. Giving an 80% shield to your teammates and yourself for 4 seconds is extremely busted. Especially in this meta. And Naji. No, it wasn't Naji. It was Najira. Najira, oh my. She looks so cute and innocent and so full of potential. But she's like a bad glass cannon. Low HP, but at the same time low damage. So why would you pick her? And then you have no, it was Tek. So no, Tekikon. Yes, Tekikon. I can't perform one that name. Tekikon with that corpse trait, whenever he kills anyone, converts to a beast. So it makes it so that those DPS characters who don't have any area damage or any piercing attack, they really suffer. And then you have probably the biggest fall of all time. From S tier to D tier, we find the one and only Bulu. So Bulu, yes. So Bulu, she was dominating the meta for 4 months straight because of the extreme abundance of tanks. And you'd think she was a damage dealer, but she was just an extreme glass cannon. But now, ever since that HP nerf, and I don't know why you would address the HP of a glass cannon, and she's not really looking the same anymore. And I think this is probably I think this is probably the best designed character. A character who's S tier, but at the same time not hated. I introduce to you Ken. So Ken, I know that's unfortunately sounds like not a very Japanese name. Am I right? But at the same time, Ken, with his damage amplification ability, it really makes it so that the glass cannons suffer more, and yeah, definitely worth it in this meta. And then you have the three new characters, and they're undoubtedly S tiers, of course. Starring, we have Saibi, you have Saibi, and the incredible support Chichu, and our last, and I think one of the best characters is Nurei. So these three, what can I say? You have this extremely fast damage dealer. You have a support who makes it so that you're undead for 3 seconds. Your HP cannot go below 1 for 3 seconds. That applies to everyone. And then you have Nurei. Oh my goodness. Oh, that ability. It is so easy to charge. Oh, sorry. So it is so easy to charge, but at the same time, it gives you extra range to outrange most DPS units because of their lack of range, and you can also get this little gadget that makes it so that every damage, like the 25% of the damage, is reflected. I think that should be it for the Genshin Impact meta. If I got anything right, comment down below, because there's no way out of all of these I didn't get anything right. And also, just because this one is above this one doesn't mean